This is IBM Museum, and I'm doing more QCONFIG. That's the utility that came on later versions of IBM's PC-DOS. And I gave the link before, in a prior video of where you can get that at the Ardent tool. And I didn't really go through and prep for that video at all. I just noticed the QCONFIG and actually made a relatively a misunderstanding or a mistake. I should have checked it out further. And Major Tom had to remind me of the way to work with DOS programs is often to check out the options that they have. So let's go through. I still have the model 65SX on the bench here. And I've gone through, and of course, this hard drive boot thing, I've got to check into a little bit further. But I've got just an adapter thrown in there. And as long as it goes through this sequence where it gives me the 165 and the not okay, the RTFM symbol, the little IBM printed on it, where I press the F1, it'll go through and it'll spin up the SCSI drive and boot from it. And so we'll do the rest of this, of course, in the video capture. Okay, we get prompted for time and date. I don't have an auto exec bat in there. Okay. And normally to determine what options a command line program supports, it's normally the QCONFIG, in this case, it's a slash question mark at the end of the typing in QCONFIG, and it gives you these great options. And it goes through to where it tells you straight up front, slash question mark is going to display this help information. Now, all these things are in brackets, so they're considered options. If you don't do the options, it goes through and just runs QCONFIG with a standard default setting. So the /A gives the all the microchannel adapters supported by QCONFIG. And I might run through that one just to go through and show all that. I'm not going to go through and pause the screen, do anything like that. Let's let it scroll by. And Major Tom has, at the Ardent tool, a list of all the supported adapters anyway. I'll provide a link in the video description for that. So the next option is the /D. It generates a detailed listing of hardware, and in particular to the microchannel systems that IBM had. I should have gone through. I quickly talked about, well, gosh, it'd be kind of neat if QCONFIG would show more of the POS information like the system information tool does on an adapter. You go through and you have that full screen. You go through and select adapters, shows what slot they're on, and you can drill in and show what's called the POS data. And that's how the adapter is actually configured. The values that are saved by the system to even know that there's a configuration change. And it goes through the system when it starts up, it goes through and plugs in those values to the adapter. So you're left with the same configuration that you had previously. And of course, any auto config and things like that, you can go through and you can select the options you select changes that POS data for the adapter. And that's just a tight encoding of a few additional bytes that basically shows how the adapter is configured. We'll get into the /D, and I also want to go through. I'm even considering setting up an email address, and just a way that I can go through and have a parsing program um, later on that goes through and even tell people they can go through and they can submit their configs to that email address. And it's just a way of us going through and seeing the different systems that are out there, being able to examine if maybe there's a BIOS version in the wild that we need to look at a little bit closer. If I don't have that system and can't dump that BIOS, just to go through and give us a little bit more detailed information. And that's considered fingerprinting with the system. It just goes through and basically takes a snapshot of how the system is set up. Now, there's other areas that would be good to capture with that detail as well. But, one thing at a time here. So /O goes through and redirects to a file, and I don't know if okay, and that's to the QCONFIG.out. That's a default file name. If you don't give it any file following that /O, and it shows by the example /O with the file, then you can go through and rename that to a particular thing. And probably for people sending me submissions and everything else, it's just a way to keep track. And QCONFIG provides all the date and time and the system and everything else. But we'll have to come up with a way of maybe indexing that independently, so I don't receive a whole bunch of the same copies or the same a bunch of files with the same name that are vastly different in this case. P/P pauses the output between screens. You notice I was doing that with the more command, and that's actually a DOS internal utility. Well, it's a utility with DOS. You have to have the full-blown DOS, or you have to have that more program on the system that's using it. And that's just piping it one screen at a time and putting more at the bottom. But there's a built-in way to go through and do that pausing of each screen. And even the /Q that it has at the bottom does not display redirect message. And so that goes through and can mute things a little bit better as far as how the data is displayed in that screenful, not going through and putting the more or anything other indication that you have to press a key to get the next screenful. We're actually going to go through. I'll go through and do the QCONFIG again. We're going to go a /D, and we are going to go with that /Q at the bottom. We're not going to really save it to any particular file as a test, but you just see here with the options. And if I go through the point of setting up the email address and everything like that, I'll go to the point of providing a video and giving that information, what the email address is, talking about the indexing of the file name, so we get a whole bunch of different named files, as the instance is, maybe the initials of whoever submits the information and kind of numerical indexing or whatever to keep that separate. But let's go through and just act on this. And as I say, it takes a little bit of time to kind of figure things out in the system. Okay. And that gave us more than, okay. So I might do the pause command. for that then. Let's go through and do just a QCONFIG. And I had to see if normally if you do the up arrow, it you can have it set up to where DOS can repeat the last, command that you did, and then you just modify it from there. So we're going to do the /P for pausing things, just to give us a little bit more time to go through these screens. I think I had tried the /Q, and I was under the impression that it did the screen full of data at a time, but here we have better. It goes through and pauses, and it does just like me doing the more piping, and I wouldn't need to have the more program on accessible in this instance. But we see the same data at least as yesterday for probably this initial screen. Primarily the /D goes through, and it has that more of that POS data for the adapters that are in there is the main difference. And so QCONFIG is really designed, PC-DOS from IBM, it's designed for the microchannel sorts of systems, and even provides more text to this for like that SCSI adapter, and doesn't show the SCSI microcode version on there. Although there's a SCSI level program too, and I've gone through and mapped that out. I think I've done a video in the past, a couple videos maybe, on SCSI level, and I'll probably get into it and do another video on it just to kind of go through a little bit of the details there. So that is with the /D, and going through, of course, in this case, to go through and pause the data. As I say, let's go through just as a kind of a finishing touch, and really you can go through and you can pause. I'm going to do the I think it was the /A. I think I remembered that, but going through, and that's very helpful to just give on the command line, give a space /?, and typically a DOS program worth its salt, or that does have options, will go through and tell you, as I say, I'm not even going to pause this. And you'll notice that it doesn't really take the time of going through and needing to analyze the system in this case. And it's good that we don't have it, that we don't go through this one screenful at a time, because that list, I don't know how many screenfuls that is, but you can always go to the Ardent tool and look over those supported adapters too. And I'll be sure to give that link in the video description. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click on the like button. You'll be seeing a lot more QCONFIG use coming up in the future on different other microchannel PS2s. And to see that, to be notified of those videos dropping, of course, subscribe to my channel. Recommend it to your friends that are interested in this sort of content so that they can subscribe too. But that's all I have for now. This is IBM Museum. Thank you.